Hey everybody, today's question comes from a mom and dad in Georgetown, Texas. Here's what they wrote. We find ourselves saying, "Good job," more than we would like to our daughter. I think we would both like to reward the effort rather than the result, but every time we try to say, "You worked really hard," it feels very odd. This is in response to stuff like when she's listening well, when she's helping out, etc. I know this is kind of a vague question, but can you suggest some language that we can use instead? Well, this is a really common concern and wondering that I hear often from parents. They're very aware of not wanting to say "good girl" or "good boy" or "great job" all the time, but they're not sure what else to say. So what I recommend is two things. First is say what you see. And that's a term that I got from a friend of mine, Sandy Blackard. She coined it. The second is appreciate versus praise. So let me give you an example to put this kind of into action. Your little person is at the dinner table, and all the time you're saying, "When we're done, we put our plate in the sink. When we're done, we put our plate in the sink." And one day, miraculously, she gets up from the table, she takes her plate, she goes over to the sink, she puts it in, and you're thinking, awesome. So what would you say there? You would just say what you see. Hey, you got up, took your plate, and put it in the sink. And then you just appreciate. Wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's helping me out a lot. So right there, that's what you did. There's no judgment needed. You don't have to put any value on it. You just say what you see and appreciate it. So why am I saying this? Bottom line, your little person is a person. And just like everybody else in your life, adults, you, we all want to feel seen, loved, and appreciated. And when we feel appreciated, we want to do more of that. We feel like, oh, I want to give more of that. I feel that feels really good. So that's what your little people want. They want to know that you're seeing them and that you're appreciating what they're doing. So what I recommend is you run what you're going to say to your kids through your partner meter, what I call the partner meter. And what that means is if you wouldn't say it to your partner, it's probably not something you would say to your child. So an example would be, hey, it's time to leave the house, you're going out to dinner, and you're running late, and you say to your partner, "Hey, we gotta go, can you step it up?" And your partner says, "Sure, I'd love to step it up." And out you go, you get in the car, you don't turn to your partner and go, "Good job, you're such a good girl," or "You're such a good boy, thank you." That's probably not what you would say. Probably what you would say is, "Hey, love, thank you so much. That was really helpful. I was getting stressed, and you stepping it up and getting out the door really helped me out. Thank you." So, same with your kids. Really be mindful of speaking to them the way that you would want to be spoken to and the way you would speak to other adults. So here's what I want you to do this week. First and foremost is to recognize this might be new. This might be a new habit that you're going to be forming. So let's start by just thinking about a situation this week from the past week where maybe you said "good job" or maybe you said "good girl" or "good boy," and think about what you would say differently or what you would have said differently now that you know this information. And I want you to share that with us in the comments below. So go ahead and start there. And then this week, I want you to practice catching yourself. And what I want to recommend is that you don't go for 100% of the time. If you nail this 1 out of 20 times this week, that's awesome. Because again, it's a new habit, you're practicing something new, and it might be a little uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the more authentic and the more just right it's going to feel. So that's your work for this week, and I will see you next week, and I just want to say, you guys are doing a great job.